Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Jurassic Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Hasbro Jurassic World Dino Hybrid Velociraptor Growler. This is the first of Hasbro's hybrid dinosaurs that we have gotten in the Growler line. It's got a radical new paint scheme. It's got essentially the same packaging with a few minor differences. Let me just go ahead and pull this off, and you can see that we have the T-Rex, who now is surrounded by these little hexagons that are supposed to be like the DNA sequencing sort of thing. The rest of the packaging is essentially the same. Of course, it says Dino Hybrid. You see a little arrow there pointing on the tail for the raptor, showing you how to use it. And then it shows a little image there of the raptor roaring, or, you know, when you do the little effect thingy. Rest of the packaging is essentially, again, the same as what we've seen before. You can see that the back of it shows you the raptor toy itself, shows you that it has chomping jaws, shows you the light up dino damage, and then it says Velociraptor Hybrid. Hybrid dinos battle for survival. Do they now? Rest of it, essentially the same thing. Authentic Jurassic World. Doesn't mean that it's good, it just means that it's authentic Jurassic World. Rest of the packaging takes two of those little round batteries. And underneath it shows you the T-Rex, the Basher Indominus, and the Basher Ankylosaurus that presumably are going to be coming out at some point. So let me go ahead and get the hybrid raptor out of the packaging, and then we'll take a closer look and see what it's like. Okay, you guys, and here is our raptor out of the box. This is a repaint of the Velociraptor Charlie and Velociraptor Delta growlers that were released last year. Of course, this time, this being a dino hybrid, there's a new paint scheme, but there's nothing else dino hybrid about it. It's essentially the exact same thing. It's a regular Velociraptor, just with a vibrant paint scheme. As with before, it stands okay. It does have very thin feet, and I assume that it will be prone to warping and falling over at some point. You still get the screw holes on the opposite side, but it's in an okay pose. It's not in an extreme pose like we saw with some of the Titan Raptors or even some of the other Growler Raptors like Blue and Echo. The real reason you're buying this thing, of course, is for the radical paint scheme. Giving you a close-up here of its head, you can see that the sculpt is still very light on this figure. There's not a whole lot of sculpted detail or texturing to be seen. That's where the battery goes in. You need a screwdriver in order to get it out and replace the batteries if they go bad. The paint scheme isn't bad. I think that this paint scheme certainly serves the sculpt better than the other versions did. The eyes are a little bit different. It kind of has like this eyeliner circling the eye just to kind of, I guess, bring it out a little bit more. The eyes themselves are kind of like this gold sort of color. Not too bad. Rest of the paint scheme is what has been referred to online as the Jurassic Park Jungle Explorer paint scheme, because it's basically like a deep red and green, as we saw with the Ford Explorers in the first Jurassic Park film, with the JW logo right there. You still get the very unusual looking dino damage bones there. I mean, all in all, like I said, I think that this paint scheme does look a little bit better than what we saw with the other versions, but it's not particularly the best thing I've ever seen either. It does have a bit of a metallic quality to it. You can kind of see that it has a sheen to it. And you're mostly going to see that from its snout all the way down to the tail. Underside of the figure doesn't really have that, nor do the legs, other than maybe the very top of the hips. But other than that, it doesn't cover the entire body. Unfortunately, they did not paint the claws on this raptor. You can see that they left in the same color as the hands. Same with the feet. Really a bummer that they did not paint them. I think it would look better if they had. But if you look at some birds, they don't always have black claws. Sometimes they do have white claws. So maybe that's what's going on here. Maybe raptors were similar. I don't know. But I do think it would have looked better if they would have painted them. Even if they would have painted them like green or red, you know, if they matched that red, I think that would actually look pretty cool for the claws. But wasn't meant to be. And so basically they look cheaped out on. And it almost kind of looks like it's wearing shoes and wearing gloves. Very strange. There are the skinny feet that it has, which make it hard to balance. And as far as articulation goes, you can move both of the arms. Same as before, you can move the legs. That one's not moving. This one Wow, there we go. There we go. I feel like I was gonna break it there. Now, as far as the action features go, same as last time, you basically press the button, it lights up, and makes the same sound as before. And then for the other one, you pull down the tail, and it sounds like it's coughing up a hairball. So like I said before, the Hybrid Raptor is a repaint of last year's Velociraptors, Charlie and Delta. And the paint scheme on those two was quite bland, to be honest. And just looking at this, it is very, very bland. There's really nothing special to it. Of course, that's largely due to the sculpt just being so weak and so light on details. I think that maybe Charlie looks a little bit better than Delta. Maybe marginally better. So you can certainly see that when we compare the two, that what a difference that some paint makes. Because you really can see how some extra paint can highlight more of the sculpt than just painting it a very bland color as with the other two. This looks better. It's still not perfect. It's still not a magnificent sculpt by any means, but it is an improvement over its predecessor. You can also barely see the hybrid DNA sequencing on its body there on the side. It's very subtle. So here is an updated look with the latest member of the Raptor Squad, or maybe not really of the Raptor Squad because there's only one Raptor Squad, of course. But yeah, you can see the Hybrid Raptor here along with the other releases in the Growler line that Hasbro has put forth for Jurassic World. I do sort of feel like the original Velociraptor blue sculpt that they also used for Echo is a little bit of a better sculpt. There's more detail on it. It looks better overall. I do think it would have been interesting if they would have taken this paint scheme for the Hybrid Raptor and applied it to this sculpt, since it's a better one. But at the same time, this one is really hard to stand. So if it came down to it, I think they made the right call in using the Velociraptor, Charlie, and Delta sculpt. Or they could have just done something way different and way better, but it is what it is. And then a quick look at the Hybrid Raptor along with the Hybrid T-Rex that we looked at in a review earlier this year. So these are the only two dinosaurs from the hybrid line that we have so far. I don't think you can really count the Owen and Blue Pack as technically being hybrids, since they're not really hybrids, or there's nothing about that set that's hybrids. So these are the two true hybrids that we have so far. And here's looking forward to seeing what else actually makes it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Hasbro Jurassic World Dino Hybrid Velociraptor Growler. All in all, you guys, it's not a bad release. I don't think it's a particularly great release either. Most of the hybrids seem to be repaints or retools of existing dinosaurs from the JW toy line. And this isn't too bad. I think that the paint scheme does work better than the other paint schemes did on the previous releases. It isn't a very good sculpt at all. It is very light on details, but at least with a paint scheme like this, you accentuate the existing details as best as possible. And I think that overall it looks better for it and is a little bit better of a toy all around, simply for that reason. I do wish they would have painted the claws on it. It does look a little bit unfinished without that, but the rest of the dinosaur does look quite good and fits into the hybrid theme pretty well, despite the fact that it doesn't have any physical characteristics that distinguish it. So if you are collecting the Jurassic World line, I do think that this is a decent one to add to the collection. You pretty much already know what to expect from the Jurassic World line. It's not the best line, and a lot of aspects of it are lacking. This isn't too bad. I picked mine up from Amazon.com. I've also seen them at Toys R Us. Depending on where you pick them up at, they retail between $14.99 and $16.99. All in all, I think it's okay for a repaint. And since it does improve upon the previous releases, I think that that is certainly a positive thing. Alright, my friends, if you enjoyed this video, then I do encourage you to please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the Hybrid Velociraptor down in the comments. Be sure and follow me on Facebook and Twitter for the latest news and updates. And as always, I want to thank you for watching Victoria's Cantina. Till next time, my friends. Bye-bye.